I'll get you some more food in a minute, okay? All right. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Sorry, my ears just suddenly blocked on me. So excuse the hat. The hair is a complete mess. It is in desperate need of a wash, but with the COVID thing, I am actually unable to stand steady in the shower long enough to be able to wash my hair. So I'm keeping it covered for now when I'm on camera. But welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast, number 1297, COVID day 3. No matter what happens today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And it is. So how are we going? Okay, to update everybody who needs to be updated. Wednesday, woke up feeling like absolute crap. No energy, headache, blocked sinuses, and felt hot. Took my temperature, have my trusty little thermometer thingy here. Took my temperature, it was at 99.4. For me, high. For most other people, high. Actually changed the green light there to orange, which is pay attention to your body. That's what it says here. Pay attention to your body. It didn't get to red, which is good. No idea what was going on or anything else. I had no COVID tests at home, so I ordered some to be delivered the next morning, and praying like crazy it wasn't COVID, that it was just a bad head cold, because that's what it felt like. But I had zero energy that day. I would sleep for 2 hours, up for about an hour, sometimes less, go back to bed for a couple of hours, and that was my whole day. I was meant to be on a seminar thing. I had the Zoom running all day when it started, and I just caught up with it whenever I was awake. And within 30 to 40, 50 minutes, I was back in bed, type of thing. Very draining. I did have protein shakes and soup. Was basically all I had. I did make myself a peanut butter sandwich, though. I did do that. So that was the only solid food I had that day. Fast forward to yesterday. The COVID tests arrive. I laid out everything, read all the instructions like I normally do, read everything first, and then practice what I had to do while everything was still sealed up. And then I went and washed my hands again, and then proceeded to do the test. In less than 5 minutes, I had 2 lines, and you were supposed to wait 15 minutes. And as the test got older, like more of that 15-minute time block was taken up, the lines just kept darker and darker and darker. And I thought, oh, do I really have to? And I looked at it at one point, and there's like 6 minutes left. Do I really have to wait the last 6 minutes? Also, like, But yesterday, excuse me, hydration has been a big part. And then Wednesday night, I was trying to find my my essential oils bomb for flus and colds. And I finally found it Wednesday night, and I was able to take 2 doses, because you're taking 3 to 4 hours apart. So I was able to take 2 doses Wednesday night. Thursday morning, woke up, I felt heaps better than I had the day before. Still not 100%, but heaps better, which is good. And eager for the COVID test to arrive so I could get that done, because that all hinged on whether or not I would be going on the cruise next week. As soon as I saw those 2 lines, I was like, damn it. No cruise next week. It was very upsetting. But I know that there's a silver lining in everything. Everything has a silver lining. No matter what happens today is always super fantastic and sparkling. I took my temperature. It was down to 98.7. So it come down 0.7 degrees, which was good. Heading in the right direction. My normal is around 97.5 to 98. So it was almost normal for me. Yesterday had a bit more energy, was able to stay up longer between naps. I didn't time my naps or anything, because again, I had yesterday off work for the conference I was attending. Again, put that on all day, and everything sort of felt like it was still up in here, but it felt like it was moving down into the chest area. I started coughing a bit yesterday. Still no aches and pains. Taste was fine. I have to tell you, chocolates taste really, really good right now. So it's enhanced my chocolate receptacles for the flavor of the chocolate, especially dark chocolate cherries. Oh, those are really good right now. And dark chocolate espresso beans. Those are my only bits of chocolate. Well, I do have chocolate flavored protein shakes, but that's beside, I'm talking about eating chocolate. Flavored protein shakes are not chocolate. It's the chocolate that counts. And again, I was able to stay up a little longer, like 2 to 3 hours before having to go and take a nap. I've been walking Zephy morning and night at time, and I've only been taking her out twice a day at times of the day when there's less people walking around, so less interaction with people, and we can usually avoid most people. But I get back from those walks and I am exhausted. We just got back from one and I am ready to go lay down and take a nap. It just drains my energy. I did have a shower on Wednesday, and that was sort of like a little, and that was just a regular shower, not washing the hair shower. And that was tough to get through that. That drained me. So I figured I'd just leave my hair as it was. And so it's been as it is for the last 3 days. I've done sponge baths the last 2 days, just because I'm concerned about standing up in a shower. And my shower is not that big. It is like 2 feet wide and 4 foot long. It is not the biggest shower. Brad would have had to be sideways in that shower, and even then he may not have fitted. But I did put a curve. I do have a curved bar on the curtain. I took out the shower doors that were there, and we put up a when my mum and dad were here. And in 2019, we put a curved rail up there that can be folded into the shower, so it's never outside. So you only need to pull it to be curved, and that's made a bit of a difference. Excuse me. This is the most talking I've done today. I did get my flute bomb, which is let's see, flute, frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, and tea tree oil. Flute. I did manage to take those every 3 hours yesterday, which I think made a big difference as well. Voice is a little husky today because I woke up this morning and my throat was raw and sore, and so I've been drinking lots and lots more fluid today, and I've been sucking on my On Guard throat drops and essential oil drops, and that's helped a lot, and now I can swallow without any pain, which is good. So like I said, everything is surviving. Today temperature was at 98.3, so again, right direction. Energy, after our walk this morning, I basically went back to bed and spent almost the entire morning in bed until it was time to get onto the help chat that I work for. And I got on the help chat, managed to last the 4 hours. Then after that, I said to Zephy, I said, I need to take a quick nap before I take you for a walk. And so I had like a 30-minute nap, and then got up and took her for a walk. And we just got back from that walk. So I had a couple of things to do after the work and stuff, but that made a difference. And now I'm ready to go back to bed again. And I'm making sure I'm bundling up when I'm outside. Unfortunately, I'm one of those that cannot wear a mask. So if anybody tries to get too close, I just ask them to stay back. My neighbor was out walking her dog this morning, and she says, oh, you're looking forward to your cruise next week? I said, unfortunately, I've had to cancel it. And she's like 12 to 13 feet away from me. And she goes, oh, why is that? And I said, because I tested positive yesterday. And she went, oh, no. Is there anything I can do for you? Both my neighbors each side have been brilliant. The one next door, this side, watches my vehicle while I'm away, and they'll park their truck in my, especially if I'm taking my car, they'll park the truck in my space so it looks like there's somebody here in the RV. And they've got their golf cart inside their carport. So I had to text them a message to say, hey, FYI, not doing the cruise next week. This is what's happened. And they said, if there's anything we can, they said, do you need anything? Do you need us to run to the store for you? And I'm like, no. So I got really, really good neighbors who are willing to step up and help out, which is awesome. I'm probably going to do a grocery delivery tomorrow. And usually I open the door and they hand me the stuff and I bring it in, but I'm going to ask them to leave it on the mat outside on the steps, and just to leave the steps clear, but to put the groceries on the map and to knock on the door when they're done so that I can then know to go out there and pick up the groceries and bring them in. So that's going to be my instructions to the drivers tomorrow. But yeah, so voice is now getting a little hoarse because everything is draining from all the sinuses down into the chest. And as you heard, the chest is starting to get a little action these days. with the coughing and things. So it still feels like a bad cold. It does not feel like a flu. No aches and pains, for which I am thankful. I haven't had the flu in about 30 plus years. So this just feels like a bad cold. Just feels like I've got a head cold that's now moving down into the chest. The zero energy, the energy thing though is a new thing, because normally when I get a head cold, and Brad used to hate this. Oh my gosh, it would drive Brad nuts. When I was sick, I would clean. I would get up, I would clean. I could not rest unless I was like throwing my guts, unless I was like had a stomach flu or something where that completely drains you. If it was just like a head cold, I would be up and cleaning, doing like a deep clean on everything to get the house sparkling, so whatever I had didn't get passed around. And it would drive him nuts. He's like, would you just go and lay down and get some rest? I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then that evening I would just literally pass out in bed and go to sleep, wake up the next morning and do it all over again. Whereas when this is the difference between, and I will tell you, this is a lot of the times, this is a difference between men and women. If women are sick, they will still work through it. If they have the energy, they will work through it, or they find the energy from somewhere and keep working through it. You know, as a mom, as a wife, you can't take days off. Men, Brad used to like lay and be, oh, I'm so sick. And I say, well, get up and go walk out to the recliner. Oh, I don't have any energy. I'm like, really? he did not get a lot of sympathy for me when he just had a cold. Flu was a different story. Every year he got the flu shot, because when he was on chemo, they made him take the flu shot every year. Every year he got the flu shot. Without fail, he got the flu. What did Helen get? Nothing. No flu shot, no nothing. So yeah, he got the flu every year. He got the flu shot. I would guarantee that he would have the flu and would have to deal with all the rigmarole from that. And he'd be like, oh, I'm so sick, I'm dying. I'm like, no, you're not. When it came to chemo treatments and the side effects from the chemo treatments and all of that, his surgeries, recovery, I was right there beside him. When it came to a cold, it was sort of like, look, if I can get up and work and walk around this house and, you know, the only thing I didn't do was cook meals. I said, you still have to cook the meals when I was sick. And I would do cleaning and all of that sort of stuff. I'm like, you've just got a cold. Get your butt up and get moving. You can go sit at your desk and do some work. And oh, I'm too sick. So yeah, difference between men and women. And I'm not saying all men and all women. There are exceptions to every rule. But today has pretty much been slept most, rested and / slept most of the morning. Got up, made lunch, did work, finished off a couple of things after work, and then went and had a 30-minute nap before taking Zeffy for a walk. And here we are. Zeffy's walk only takes about, well, the way we have done her walk, because there's a certain area in the evening that she likes to go where she knows if there's a couple sitting out on their front deck, then she will get a big dog biscuit. And she likes to go and visit them. And she never knows if they're going to be out. And if they're not out there, she whines as we walk past. Just say, I'm here, where are you? So yeah, that was kind of funny. But I purposely did not want to go that way, because if they were out, then they would insist on giving her a treat. She would insist on going up there. So I had to like cut her evening walks shorter than what they normally are. One, I didn't have the strength, and two, I couldn't just be around people. So always taking care of that. Got a few phone calls today from people just checking in to see how I'm doing and things like that. And it was greatly, greatly appreciated. And one of them, we've been friends for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years now, have never met in person. And we were both going to be on the same cruise next week. And we're looking forward to being able to sit outside and just chat. And because she knows that I cannot be vaccinated nor wear a mask, and she is one who takes her health very seriously. She knows I take my health very seriously. And her first thing to me today was, this was so funny. First thing she said to me today, she says, what happened? She says, you've avoided this thing for 3 years. I said, I know. I went to Florida. And she just started laughing because a mutual friend of ours has considered that, nothing against Floridians, but he considers Florida the cesspool for COVID himself, plus a lot of people that he has known who has flown into Florida for events and then flown home again have come down with COVID. And I'm just sort of like, yeah, I was hoping not to be one of those. I was taking all my supplements. I had boosted my supplements to help boost my immune system. I was taking precautions wherever I could. Although on a plane there wasn't much I could do because you got the recycled air going on in there. But I did have my breathe stick, and I did put and you just go like this thing here you can actually use on your chest like Vicks, and just putting it. Oh, that smells so good. Just putting under the nostrils there, and that would help breathe. And then I was sucking on breathe lozenges and On Guard lozenges as well on the plane, just to try and help combat the recycling air. But most people go to other places, but he's been to other places on planes and not come back affected, or it's only when he went to Florida. So he's just basing it on personal experience and friends of his that have gone there and come back with COVID. Like I said, nothing against the Floridians. I actually enjoyed my time in Florida. It was actually really nice. Normally when I've been to Florida, it's been humid, and I don't like humidity. But this was nice weather, great temperatures, and low humidity. It was like you couldn't have asked for a more perfect weekend, and the weather that we had. The day of the wedding was stunning. It was clear blue skies and sunshine and no humidity. And it was like, I think in the 70s, I think it was. Excuse me, but it was there was a light breeze blowing. It was like perfect. And I couldn't have asked for a better trip to Florida weather-wise. Family-wise, totally awesome. Totally awesome. Got to catch up with family and friends at the wedding and things. And then we did a family get together at the place my sister-in-law had rented. And I had to tell you, this house that they rented was incredible. It was huge. My sister-in-law was there. Her son and his girlfriend were there. Her two daughters were there with their families. And one of her granddaughters was there with their family, and they had enough space for everybody. It was just an incredible house, and it had this massive backyard that led down to where this little pier was out onto the water, which I think was on a lake. Yeah, it was on a lake. But the best part about this place is that once you walk through the entryway into the big room at the back, there was this big room at the back, and that was one big combined room, which was kitchen, living, and dining room, family room area. It was fantastic. We had a lot of space to sit. We had so much fun just sitting there and chatting and eating, and we're eating leftovers from the wedding. We even had leftover wedding cake. It was awesome. It was a great afternoon of just catching up with family. We had a great time, and the house they had was spectacular, and great for entertainment. And it's the type of place I always want, is a place that has a good open space with a kitchen off to one side, and then you have this dining family room area, one big great room that incorporates the kitchen. They had this big massive island that we're able to put all the food out on. The island was clear. There was no cooktop on it, no sink on it, which I absolutely love that in an island, like completely this huge, massive island with bar stools along one side. So we had plenty of room to spread out all the food that was left over from the wedding, and we just had a blast. It was awesome. Couldn't have asked for a better place just to have a catch-up day and just to sit and chat and just be with family. It was awesome. So anyway, yeah, so today the throat thing, now the throat is actually feeling pretty good. There's no pain when I swallow, which is good compared to what it was like most of the day. I did eat solid food today. But yeah, so overall, I'm doing pretty well. And I appreciate all the messages, the text messages, the Facebook messages, the phone calls of people checking up on me. Excuse me. And I just appreciate it. And like I said, it just feels like a major cold. That's all it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like any flu that I've had. Like I said, it's been over 30 years since I've had a flu, so I may have forgotten what it felt like. I remember lots of aches and pains. and like zero energy, because the last time I had the flu, it was so bad. I was bedridden for 2 weeks, and literally had barely enough energy to get from the bed to the bathroom. It was that bad, and it was like that for 2 weeks, and that was after my very first flu shot. So I've never had another flu shot since, never had the flu since, until COVID. Maybe do once every 30 years. So let's see, that won't happen until I'm in into my 80s. So I can deal with that. Anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I'm going to go and heat up some soup. Trying to think what soup I have. I know I've got a couple of Panera bread soups that I got from the market. I think one's broccoli and cheese, and I can't remember what the other one is. But broccoli and cheese sounds good. So, and people will tell, oh, you shouldn't have dairy with a chest cold. Yes, I know. Oh, and if you're part of our traveling widow group or our traveling widowers group, in the Facebook groups, in the private Facebook groups we have for you guys, we just released our very first trip. We're going to go and do the 4 colors in New England and Canada. We leave on the 30th of September on the Emerald Princess out in New York City. And we are going to, where are we going? That's a good point. We go to Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, Bar Harbor, Maine, Halifax, St. John, where in St. John's where is Bay of Fundy, and New York City. And that's kind of like a dream trip, that Bay of Fundy one, because Brad had always wanted to go see it. But I kind of liked that itinerary, and it's the 30th of September, right in the peak of color time. Got what 4 colors. So those have been released into the Traveling Widows group and the Traveling Widowers group. So if you're part of those private Facebook groups, go check them out, and all the pricing's there. And we've got included a whole bunch of stuff into that pricing for you. We've made it as inclusive as we possibly could. The only thing we don't have in there is shore excursions, spa treatments, and specialty dining. Everything else is in there, like your gratuities are in there, drinks packages are in there. Totally forgotten what else is in there. I had juice bar, premium desserts, all sorts of cool stuff. Wi-Fi, one device per guest. So we've made it as inclusive as we possibly could. Like I said, spa treatments, shopping, shore excursions are the only things not included. Oh, and specialty dining. Those are the only things not included. So have at it. And if you are a widow or a widower, you're more than welcome to come to our groups. Down in the description below is the link to the Facebook groups. There are questions you have to answer. And if you do not answer the questions or you miss one, you will not be allowed into the group. You will be declined. It is imperative that we keep the group as private and as supportive as we can for those that are widows and widowers. So anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow evening around 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, konera.